everybody. This is Alan Devlin with Atlanta News First. Thank you so much for joining me here at the First Alert Desk. Today is Wednesday, August 7th, 2024, and I'm going to be walking you guys through some of our top stories here today. It was an interesting day. We had several different stories we were pursuing, chasing what's going on down at the coast, what's going on here at home. As soon as I'm done, meteorologist Patrick Pete's going to come up here and talk more about this heat. We've got a drop in humidity coming, so it's going to be a lot drier. And, of course, we're going to look at Debbie as well. Debbie's actually where I want to start today because that's one of our top stories, and it has been for the last several days. This storm is nasty, and it's already left a nasty mess along the East Coast. South Carolina, Florida got hit, and so right now we are waiting on the storm to actually make a return. It went out into the ocean for a little bit, but it's set to come right back to Charleston, which is already dealing with massive flooding and large amounts of rains. It's coming back to Charleston between now and tomorrow morning. So I want to show you some video of exactly what's been happening down there already because it is a mess. Take a look at this. This is in Charleston, and you can see just how much of the drainage issues have been happening down there. We've actually got meteorologist Cutter Martin. We've got Atlanta News First, Madeline Montgomery, who's out and about in some of these areas in South Carolina, in Savannah, these coastal cities, Georgia, South Carolina, that have been getting walloped. Governor Brian Kemp is saying that this is not over yet. We're still ready to assist our neighbors if possible. We're not really going to feel that here in Atlanta, but it's something that we're keeping our eyes on just because whenever something like this happens, you want to make sure you are on top of it. I've actually got Cutter Martin, who is running around Savannah the last couple of days, to walk us through where we are today.
Wave after wave of rain continues to fall here in Pooler, a suburb of Savannah, about 15 miles to the west of Savannah. The problem, downpours left behind plenty of water that still hasn't drained from more than 48 hours ago, trapping some of these residents inside this Barrington Estates subdivision, especially lowest lying portions of the subdivision. Some of these folks barely made it home before the water started rising.
I came home from work yesterday around like 12 and it wasn't like this at all. And then it just rapidly approached in the next few hours. So by 7 o'clock last night, this was what it was like. And I was thinking if I got off work at the normal time that I usually do, I never would have made it back into my house.
Now, Elaine has been in her home since early Monday afternoon. Quite a while to be trapped in your home without being able to leave. There is good news. It's subtle, but it's good. Water slowly starting to go down in this Barrington Estates neighborhood, and you can see there's actually a whirlpool just below that street light. That is a sewer right there. I can see it just below the water. Water finally draining. That is the most drainage this neighborhood, at least this street in this neighborhood, has seen in about 48 hours. Rain continues to fall, but it's lighter. It's slow improvement, but it is improvement here across the Savannah Metro. Some still having to battle water as safely as they can do so to get to work because life must go on. Unfortunately, some do have property damage in this neighborhood, likely filing insurance claims. Losses will be significant across the Savannah Metro once all is said and done. Reporting in coastal Georgia, Cutter Martin, Atlanta News First.
All right, and there you have it right from Cutter Martin. Again, we're going to keep monitoring this storm. We're going to keep our eyes on it and make sure that you guys are informed of what is happening there on the coastline. The next story I want to talk to you guys about here is actually one that happened here at home, and it was a slew of unrelated evictions that happened in the metro, Clayton County, right in Buckhead, that then resulted in some looting in the area. Excuse me? Okay. That then resulted in some looting in the area. And so what we have now is a lot of stolen goods, a couple of GBI investigations, and two businesses that are out of where they were, honestly. We're going to start here. I'm going to put them both up on your screen. You have a side-by-side. One is the Red Martini. One is a Beauty Mart. The Red Martini, decades-long famous spot in Buckhead. I've been there before. They got evicted this morning. The second spot is a beauty supply store in Clayton County. Everything was put out in the parking lot, and it just so happened it was the same day, and what you have is a lot of people who were running up and getting a lot of that stuff, grabbing it, whatever they could. This is a look at the Red Martini parking lot here. I want to make that full screen. You can see how many people were out there. We're talking alcohol, benches, tables, furniture, and there they are carrying it away. Now, this might have looked like it was up for grabs. It is illegal to take a lot of this stuff. You can't necessarily, it's still Red Martini stuff. They just can't necessarily be in that spot. APD GBI showed up to assist, and what you ended up want to do now, actually, is go ahead and see if I can bring up our meteorologist here, Patrick Pete, who's going to walk us through a little bit about the weather outside. Patrick, what rim are you on, if you don't mind me asking? Max 2. I'm going to put you into Max 2 really quick. Let's see. Actually, you know what? You can do it. How about that? Here, I'm going to let you step on in, my man. Step on in.
Hello.
It's all yours.
Oh man, I'm short. That's good evening, everybody. How are y'all doing? Happy Wednesday. We made it. It is Hump Day. There we go. It is Hump Day. Oops. There we go. Oh. Alrighty, so I do want to take y'all outside, not to that, but to the beautiful city of Atlanta. Alrighty, so a beautiful evening across the city of Atlanta. A lot of sunshine, a couple of high clouds out there. That is going to continue to be the case as we head through the next couple of hours. We'll sunset and we'll see things be clear and warm as we head through the overnight. So we'll dive into this forecast and get you everything that you needed to know. There we go. Can you guys hear me now? I believe you can. So I just want to make sure before I dive into the forecast, if someone could hop in this YouTube chat and say a green light to keep talking. I'm monitoring your comments. Let's dive into this. Oops. All right, so gorgeous out there across the region today. Very warm still, 91 degrees. Despite the winds coming out of the northwest, we're not getting much cooling. It is still very muggy out there. Heat index near 94 degrees. Temperatures tonight are going to stay warm, mid-70s across most of the region to kickstart the day tomorrow. And a lot of sunshine will meet you at the door, especially if you are in the metro, points to the west and to the south. I do think folks north and east of Atlanta could see some clouds through the early morning. More sunshine for the afternoon. There's a 20% chance of an isolated shower. I don't expect much of a production out of this, but with the system being so close, moving into South Carolina, can't rule out a stray band of showers. The outermost bands could throw some moisture our way. I think the bigger story tomorrow will be the heat index. The heat and the humidity, it's going to dominate the forecast. Temperatures will feel like the mid-90s as early as lunchtime, feeling like triple digits as the kids are making their way home from school. And we're going to keep it muggy as we head into the evening tomorrow. Heat indices not falling below 90 until well after sunset. I think more sunshine to end the work week to start off your Friday morning. A little bit warmer. Most of us are in the mid to upper 70s. Temperatures climb back into the 90s quickly as we head into the afternoon. Another day where a spotty sprinkle can't be ruled out, but all in all, it's going to be a day for 95% of us to see a lot of sun and warm temperatures. And even if you're heading out late Friday evening, it does appear that those temps are going to still be warm when y'all are getting out into the streets. Low 80s at around 11 o'clock Friday night. Heading into the weekend, gorgeous as far as the skies are concerned, as long as you don't mind a little heat. That's what swimming pools were built for. That's also what the house was built for as well. 94 degrees for an afternoon high here in Atlanta. Same for Covington, 96 in Athens, a little bit cooler in Rome. Warmer numbers as we head into next week. Something that we are watching, though, is that guidance is hinting that north wind will continue to prevail through the next few days. And I think those dew points are going to stay in the same category where they've been today in the last couple of days, through Thursday and Friday. But by Saturday, I think that those 2 points come down just a little bit, 4 or 5 degrees, but it's going to be enough to take a little bit of that bite out of the atmosphere. We're still going to be muggy Saturday and Sunday, but I do think it's going to be noticeably a little less humid. Not comfortable, but muggy. 7-day forecast shows that there's really not much to talk about as far as the skies are concerned. It's a lot of dry time. I mean, we really couldn't buy a decent rain chance with money. It's real spotty at best. I am watching temperatures that are hovering pretty much in the mid-90s, so that's pretty much consistent as well. And there's not really much of a change even whenever I extend that forecast out to day 6 to day 10. It does appear that we're going to stay somewhere in the low to mid-90s through the next 10 days. So, of course, we'll keep you posted with that. The tropics could get interesting next week. We're not watching any areas right now, but a lot of the guidance is hinting that we could be seeing something bubble up next week. If that happens, of course, we will tell you on air and online. I want to leave you with this 7-day forecast so that you can plan ahead. It's a good weekend to be outside. Just remember to wear your sunscreen. Remember to stay hydrated. Y'all have a fantastic evening.